Welcome into DC On Screen, a show about the DC Universe properties being brought to film and television. Tonight is a special episode. First of all, it's our 200th episode.
Is it?
It really is.
Oh, well timed.
Second of all, and most importantly, we have seen Suicide Squad.
Absolutely fuck our show and its episode numbered. Suicide Squad.
We have seen Suicide Squad. Before getting into this review, we will be hitting up spoilers in a few minutes. I think we're going to give a spoiler-free review up first. We've already had requests for that, and
yeah.
So let's just do that.
Last time.
It is no spoiler that Rotten Tomatoes has this thing at about 27, 33, something like that. Last I heard,
something in what people are calling the Batman vs Superman range.
Yeah. So. First off, does it deserve that rating? I would say no. What would you say?
That's a positive no.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we have been accused now of being fanboys after our Batman v Superman opinions.
I can't believe that. Go listen to our Arrow reviews. Tell me we're fanboying it up here.
Depending on the episode or the week, you can do that with Gotham or Supergirl as well.
Yeah.
But...
although I found myself missing Gotham the other day.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Missing it.
Like, actually missing it.
Actively missing Gotham.
Yeah. I remembered that clone at the end of the thing and thought, I really want to know about that.
It's just too linked to the Fish Mooney bitch.
Yeah. I had forgotten about Fish Money.
Yeah. And anyway, this is Suicide Squad. Alright, so I don't think this is anywhere near as egregious as they're making it out to be. I think you had a perfect statement when we came out. You were just whelmed. You weren't overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Underwhelmed. You were just whelmed.
Which I guess many will know, a Young Justice callback. But I was perfectly whelmed.
Right.
This thing did not break the barriers of what a movie is supposed to be. It did not, it didn't rewrite the book. It's not going to be my favorite movie of all time, but damn it, I had a good time.
Yeah, I had a fun time. My girlfriend Bethany actually described the Joker as young Gary Busey, which cracked me up.
Yeah,
and kind of fit
and
perfectly.
May have ruined the film for you.
May have ruined all future Joker appearances for me.
Although I walked out with what I think is maybe now the best rule that I've been able to conceive for whether someone did a good job with the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to find yourself in an alley with this guy?
Oh, no.
And yeah, this guy's creepy enough that...
yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely not. I'm out of there.
Right.
I'm out of there.
Her statement actually made me think, why hasn't Gary Busey played the Joker?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. I think he probably has in his private time.
So, dug the acting.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really did a bad job here.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of reviews say that it seemed like there was a bunch of stuff cut out. There was some stuff that I didn't see in there that we did see in the trailers.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And I was kind of okay with those things not being there. I think one of the things that bothered me the most about the movie is, I think, and I hate to say this, but I think the best parts were in the trailers. I hate to say that.
No, I mean, I would still disagree. Because, like, the thing that I was impressed with this movie, with all the leaks and all the set photos and everything,
mm-hmm.
and this has been going on for a year and a half now, it seems like, we felt like we'd seen so damn much of the movie. We hadn't seen
mm-hmm.
more than 30 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything, this is still the spoiler-free section, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, everything you've seen in a trailer,
mm-hmm.
you haven't made it 30 minutes into this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just...
and some of it
moments. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's some stuff in... and incidentally, we were right on the news episode about that last trailer, about where it belonged.
Mm-hmm.
Which act it belonged in. But that's only to say that there is some stuff that's later. But for the most part, the stuff you've been teased with is just the stuff that it's just getting your feet wet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone did a fine job with acting, I thought. God, Margot Robbie killed it.
Just absolutely. Yeah. And I did not realize how, like, pretty and menacing her smile is until I saw it.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. I mean, I did, but
it's...
have you not seen the same trailers?
Just got a joyful smile. I just had so much time with it tonight.
Yeah.
And yeah, Leto. I want him to appear. I want him to appear many times.
I want to see him do more.
Yeah.
That being said, he's not my Joker. He's just not. He's just not. And you would think with like how popular the Arkham games were, they were going to try to, and I knew they weren't because I've seen the trailers.
Yeah.
But you would just think like, God, can't you try to be like Mark Hamill a little bit? Like,
no, I didn't want him to.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I didn't want him to do anything that had happened before.
Yeah, part of me didn't want to see that again, and part of me was like, oh, come on. You know, I go back and forth.
But I really want it.
I really want to see someone try something new with the Joker and really knock it out of the park.
It's the never-ending battle.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think he did a fine job. Want to see more of him. Jared Leto saying that a lot of his stuff was cut out of the movie, so I don't... This doesn't feel like a movie that I really want an Ultimate Edition to.
Oh, no, I do, and I feel like it's a movie where there's an Ultimate Edition in the
You think it's coming?
Yeah, I think it's coming.
I
think we got 30 minutes of footage, probably. we're supposed to get.
Okay.
The
that's not official, right? You haven't heard heard that.
No, not a damn thing. But I'd stake my $25 that I'm going to pre-order this this movie on.
Yeah, but you know, I guess I'll just Deadshot absolutely was the I think the center of the movie.
Yeah,
and they weren't wrong about that. What they were wrong about, I feel like, was all of these statements about... I feel a little lied to, because I feel like Batman... we didn't see Batman really from the viewpoint of the villains. We really didn't. We didn't see him as the villain.
We did. There's a scene we'll talk about in a second.
Kind of.
We kind of did,
but
I think.
Yeah. So, yeah. I will say this before we're getting out of the spoiler-free section... Don't rack your brain about the big bad. It's just a thing. There's not a great mystery.
I'm actually really glad we haven't spent like a ton of time trying to suss that out.
Yeah,
we've mused about it here and there, but it's been and we've mostly been joking around. I think.
But would you say that the reports are false? That the storyline is just completely like confusing? Like
yes,
a whole mess. Like I didn't think anything was confusing at all.
I'll give it this. Well, I'll give it many things, but I don't get to give a lot of movies this. It's a really tight story.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. We saw it one time. Please forgive me, everyone, if I'm wrong about this. But there aren't a lot of plot holes happening here. It's actually a pretty tight movie.
The plot holes that I saw, that was like, aha! Like, they went back and showed you what happened. I went, aha!
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, all right. Well, that works.
I mean, there's only one thing I can think of, and it still seems like it's probably got a pretty reasonable explanation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for the spoiler section.
Okay. And just so you guys are wondering, me and Jason haven't really talked about this before we're doing this show.
Yeah.
We came over to his house, and there were some dogs running around, so we got to play with those.
Yeah,
and
as one would do.
Yeah. So we not secretly, we're not like hush hush. We're just going to talk about this minute. I don't know what the hell Jason's talking about. All right, absolutely go see this movie. It's worth your time. I'm not going to say it's the best damn thing ever, but it's still better than the Thor movies.
Right?
I mean...
I left completely pleased.
Yeah, I left pleased, but with a feeling of, well, I just ate a lot of candy. I don't know what the point was, but that was a lot of fun.
I don't know where this got me, but I enjoyed the journey.
Where it got us, though, was we now have a Harley Quinn in the universe. We now have a Joker in the universe. We've seen Batman interact with those cats. And we have magic in the universe.
Yeah.
So,
like, real serious magic.
Yeah. So, it's done that. It's introduced magic.
And we're still not spoiling anything. There was Enchantress here. You should have known. You should know.
Yeah. But, if they did, and I think they're doing that Justice League Dark animated movie to test the waters for it. But
see if it can hold up.
Yeah, part of Justice League Dark's story, if they decide to do it, has already been, like, part of their job has already been done for them. They have this in-universe working. It's been, it's there.
Yeah.
So, that's the end of the spoiler-free zone, guys. Go check out the movie. If you want to cut it off right here, dconscreen.com for all of our episodes, everything leading up to. And, all right. So,
If you join us back, hit about the 10-minute mark or so, and we'll see you there.
So...
Spoilers begin!
Spoilers beginning. Are there spoilers to be had?
Yeah.
Like, I feel...
Oh, yeah.
I feel like nothing happened. In a lot of ways. Like,
there were a couple things we knew. Like, Slipknot, dude was dead.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude was dead.
we survived that. They didn't say that.
That was hardly worth...
And I'm like, oh, he's going to be the example.
And I called that exactly. Like, literally, like, oh, it's the scene where he shoots away, they're going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That's not... I'm not being clever.
No.
That's not reading tea leaves.
No, like, and you could look in the trailers, he's not in any of the group shots.
Nothing!
After that point.
Nothing.
Like, he's just, like, you see him
just
zipping
gone.
away. That's the only thing we see him do in the movie. Aside from just standing around. And they even kind of, like, broadcast it. There's, like, foreshadowing, kind of, where, like, Amanda Waller gives us, like, the down low on everyone but Slipknot. And they're like, oh, yeah, and this asshole with ropes.
Yeah.
There's that guy.
He doesn't get his cute backstory up front.
He doesn't. So, yeah. But I think, we've been like, oh, man, they're just not letting us know who this big bad villain is. We don't know who the adversary is.
Do the math.
It's because we weren't going to care. And they knew we weren't going to care.
Right.
And
they didn't have somebody in their wing. Like, I kind of hoped they did, but I'm not really all that frustrated by what happened.
I'm not either. I just,
Like, if they'd pulled out, like, Despero or something. Like,
yeah.
I was joking about that the other day. But, yeah, if we'd pulled out, like, oh, my God, it's Atrocitus or something.
Right.
That would have blown my mind. It would have been fantastic. But
Right.
it was never really going to happen.
Yeah, no. And I don't know, I was pretty okay with it. Like, it wasn't a movie about the villain. The secondary villain, I guess, Enchantress herself.
Yeah.
But it wasn't... I mean, in a way, it was a movie about all the villains. And I feel like the main villain, really, anyway, was Amanda Waller the whole time.
Yeah.
So...
She's actually...
Yeah.
And to be fair to Ayer and company, I don't think they were giving us a false lead with Enchantress isn't really the villain. I think they really were talking about...
Yeah, all the gnarly shit that went down would not have gone down if Amanda Waller had half a brain. Well, she has plenty of brains, but she got cocky and was like, I can control this freaking witch over here.
It's really fun to actually, like, through the film, you actually see her realize she got too cocky a couple times. Like, when the plane goes, when the helicopter goes down, there's a moment where she kind of drops her jaw and thinks, my career's over.
Yeah. If not
done.
my life, my career's over.
And she is probably the worst person in the film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bear in mind, I don't mean the worst character. She's a fantastic character.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst person in the film.
Right.
Like, she puts down those FBI agents like rabid dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Those people with families. They probably had dates later. Like, that was, as Will Smith put it, gangster.
Yeah.
Like, that was rough.
Yeah. The good news about these terrible reviews, though, they didn't really spend that much money on this movie, and they weren't expecting it to be the big thing that it kind of became in the marketing.
I think they spent like more money on the marketing and just realized
they may have.
I swear to God, it seemed like they got into it and thought, you know what, this is actually pretty easy to market. We've got so many characters we can play with. We'll pull this whole like hallucinogenic color palette out.
That may have been their downfall too, though. Was the
overhyped?
Overhyped. Like the people who they had editing those trailers were so damn good at like getting me excited for this movie that like I went in just thinking like, oh man, this is gonna like break the mold. It's gonna change
knock my
everything.
dick right in the dirt.
This is gonna be like this best comic book movie, one of the best movies.
Yeah.
And then it just wasn't. It was a perfectly serviceable movie about a lot of fun characters.
It's really like I feel like we're somehow defending it for being a good movie, which seems like an odd position to be in.
Yeah,
because the hype said so much more.
Well, yeah, and I just don't understand why it's getting the reviews it's getting. Like I know that there was a huge complaint that like there was a character in the film who did a thing that just seemed completely out of character, and I don't think they would do that. I don't know who that person was talking about or these people were talking about, because I thought a couple of times there were a couple of things that could have been. One, it either could have been El Diablo, his sacrifice.
That all made sense.
That made sense to me.
Perfect sense.
The one that didn't make sense, though, was Deadshot not killing Harley.
No, that made sense. He said, like, 2 scenes before, he said, I don't kill women, I don't kill children.
Yeah, he does, but when his family's involved...
Well, even then, He didn't. She didn't threaten to kill his family. She threatened to. Well, she didn't even threaten. She offered to give him back his family to some extent.
Right. Yeah.
And it seemed like the internal decision for him was, if I do get my family back, I don't want it to be because I'm a goddamn mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be just because I'll shoot anyone that someone asks me to shoot just to see my daughter. Like, he actually wants his daughter to respect him at some point. So that all made sense to me.
I'm not saying I can't make it make sense.
I didn't even think I had to make it make that. All just flowed. He tells Rick Flag in the scenes before it, just, I'm going to get you there. It's going to be it's going to be like out of the Bible and everything. It's a good scene.
You're right. Speaking of, I can let all that go. That's fine. Like, that was the only one I could try to, like, push that idea on, is what I'm saying.
I mean, those are the two that I would think. I think I see where you're going, but those still to me made sense.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, Diablo's got this irredeemable backstory.
Yeah, he kind of had to go.
He kind of did have to go.
He kind of had to, like, make the sacrificial
and by the
play.
way, badass. badass.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was a little underwhelmed, I guess, with Killer Croc's physique.
Yeah, a little bit. I thought he'd be a little more swole.
Yeah. There was some, I don't know, some slow motion in that last fight scene that was a little...
that is my main jibe for the entire film as a movie, not even as a, like, hey, let's look at this.
Well, it kind of started doing
that. DCEU.
It kind of started doing that. I was like, this feels, I don't know, purposefully or not, like Deadpool, and I was waiting on a punchline.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
because it's a movie that gave itself willingly to punchlines.
It did.
And there was a moment where, and people are going to hate me saying this, but there was a moment in the slow motion where A, I thought I probably have time to go pee, and B, I'm sitting there thinking, like, all right, I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but I kind of miss Snyder right now because this would be a really great time for that fast motion, slow motion thing he does. Mm-hmm. Like, she tosses the gun really quickly, and then it flows in the air, and then it goes really quickly again, and then Croc moves his arm really fast, and then it floats in the air, and then it goes really quickly. Mm-hmm. Like, that some 300 cinematography wouldn't have hurt my feelings one bit right there.
There were a couple of bits in the fight scenes where I felt like, oh, that would have looked better if Patty Jenkins was directing it. Just because I've seen the trailer for Wonder Woman now. Like, I saw a couple of moves in there. I was like, I think I saw someone do this better.
I think I'm going to look forward to her doing that.
But, yeah, I mean, it's a movie I'll be happy to place on my shelf.
Oh, hell yeah.
Next to my, Ultimate Edition BVS. And
I'm an Amazon guy, and as soon as that thing's available, it's getting primed. The moment.
Yeah, I was happy with Enchantress. She seemed pretty creepy.
Oh, perfectly creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly that. Perfectly creepy.
And her big brother, didn't see that one coming, but I guess I should have.
Yeah.
But then again,
it was possible.
Yeah,
we were dreaming big.
We were dreaming big. We were thinking, wow.
Yeah.
We were thinking, wow. Ayer was thinking, now.
And it did work just fine. The plot moved on.
It worked.
It wasn't a...
If it was a bigger villain, it would have taken away from the story we were supposed to be getting, which was, and for a minute I thought, well, okay, and for a while I've now been thinking, but I'm just working through this now on the show because this is therapy for me. Mm-hmm. It's just another, fold of what mankind is going through with these superpowers with Amanda Waller. And, because I said, well, why did we have this movie? Well, we're kind of seeing what the government's doing with powers. And
they have a wonderful couple of...
And that's fine.
Couple of scenes up front that mention, like, hey, Superman's dead. There's a lot of stuff that acknowledges, here's where we are now. And it's perfect for Amanda Waller to be the person who, in a world that's full of new powers and new possibilities, she'd be the person who says, okay, that's cool. I'm going to shield myself with all that shit.
Right.
Like... It would be her thought to weaponize this new problem instead of actually kowtowing to it. And,
it also, that mid-credits sequence, it provides a great jumping on point for a Justice League to show how, like, where Bruce got more specifics on these characters.
Yeah.
And why Bruce isn't already on top of taking down the Suicide Squad or whatever. Well, he did. He was like, shut this shit down or me and my friends will.
Well, he didn't say or. He just said, you should. Me and my friends will do this for you. It's like an offer on the table.
Yeah. I thought he was saying that you should shut this down or we'll do it for you. Like,
we'll
shut it down for you.
It definitely wasn't ultimatum. It was like...
Me and my friends will do what you're wanting.
Okay. We're about to do this for you.
Well, that works, too.
Yeah, it was an offer.
But I love that she knows who he is.
Should stop working nights.
Yeah, that was so good. And,
I kept thinking, Shirley, you're not having this conversation without knowing who this guy is. Like, Bruce Wayne doesn't just walk up to you and want secret file.
No.
Come on, lady. Admit it.
It answers one of those questions from the comics. How the hell does Amanda Waller not know who Batman is?
Like Amanda damn Waller. Yeah.
Like, how do we... That solves one of the big problems for me that's always been there from the Batman books. It's like, okay, this billionaire, everyone thinks is dead, comes back, and like the next week Batman shows up? Bullshit.
Yeah.
You've got like 4 families in Gotham. Only one of these guys could have the money, that has the money to be Batman. Yeah. How are you guys not catching this? He adopts a kid, suddenly Batman has a kid sidekick? Bullshit.
Someone look around. Yeah.
He adopts a kid who gets killed, and suddenly there's no more Robin? Bullshit.
What are we doing here?
Anyway.
Why did DHR not figure this out immediately?
Why is there not an investigation?
Yeah. For social service.
Because Amanda Waller's just like, we need him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And went and shot the 2 agents who thought about actually investigating it. Right in the head.
Yeah.
Right before they had dinner with their significant others. Because she rolls like that.
Yeah. So it also bridges a nice or not bridges, but it makes a nice contrast with Justice League, being that we've seen now the villains and where this teamwork shit can go kind of wrongish.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that it makes a good, sorry, I'm just working through this. Like I said, it's therapy.
Yeah.
The movie may be better than I thought.
Now that you've had time to cogitate it, it's really digging it.
Right.
And something again, we're all working this stuff out. Something I'm liking about it is it's in Midway City, which in the universe the DCU is building is
between Gotham
and Metropolis.
Yeah.
So like,
did they say why it was absolutely entirely friggin' abandoned?
Oh no, it has several signs like mandatory evacuation.
Okay.
Yeah, there are several signs in the
awesome
on the streets and stuff.
I didn't catch that. Glad it's there.
It's like,
thank you.
If there's a Times Square for Midway City, you see it on the board there. But something that's cool about it is in a meta sense, Gotham City represents the worst of what could happen and one man can do about it, and Metropolis represents the worst of all possible fears or hopes, depending on how you feel about how the Superman character acted.
Right.
Like if you go Luthor with it, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. But if you're the average person, you're thinking, "Oh my God, this guy can help us all. Like he's a symbol of hope and everything." And to have this happen right in between in Midway City, where someone decides, this is the battle we're gonna have to fight for this is the new kind of battle. This is the World War III as you described it. Like to have it happen right in between it, I thought was actually pretty poetic. It worked as a framework. Yeah, and it's a really good example of even on this team, some of them really are meta, and some of them are just really capable humans. Like there are scenes in the last couple of fight scenes, you see Harley apologize, like I'm sorry, like she just cocks around the back of the head and didn't do shit. You just got a baseball bat. I'm sorry, like it's impressive you even got the hit in. But it is just a baseball bat, and that is an interdimensional witch.
She has a really great human moment too, where she thinks Joker's dead.
Yeah,
and she's like on the verge of breaking down, sitting on top of that car, and then she sees them she throws the pudding necklace away. I think is
choker.
It a choker?
Yeah, it's a choker.
Then she sees the rest of the squad walk up, and she like kind of just pulls it together. Really badly.
Not enough.
Really
like,
badly.
You see the rest of the squad too. Like you're waiting for one of them to say sorry about your boyfriend. Because they all know. I mean, everyone in that community, everybody knows Joker and Harley are a thing. Like you do not mess with those two. And mess with one, you get the other, and so on.
And that Waller bit where she said they became the king and queen of Gotham.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wanted to see more of that.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to see so much more of that.
Is it the Azzarello? Brown Azzarello, is that the writer of Joker?
I think so.
I do think... I think they pulled more from that than anything else for his character.
Yeah.
Because this guy is just a mob boss, man. I mean, he's the last guy in a community of last guys you don't want to mess with. Mm-hmm. He's the ultimate last guy you want to mess with. They have a fantastic scene about that too.
Yeah, though mob boss, I know he always dressed like a gangster in the old in the comics and stuff. Yeah, I know, but I always kind of just really preferred the idea that Joker, even though he dresses like that, he's got boys. You know, he's got henchmen and shit. I always just kind of really liked the idea that he was like. I always just thought the idea that mob system was a little too hierarchical for Joker. Like, it was just a little too organized. Somewhat along the lines of the real Joker wouldn't sit still long enough to get all those tats. Like,
he probably did, and then just killed the guy who gave him the tat afterward. Anyway.
Like, every little prick of the thing, he just kills the guy and brings in another tattoo guy to change it.
Oh, you know, something I didn't think about. The prison guard, the piece of shit prison guard. Mm-hmm. Harley laughs at him and says, "You're so screwed," or something like that.
Yeah, she does.
What happened to him? I don't think anything happened to him.
Not that we saw. I don't think.
I mean, I assume that he killed him later just because. Like, pulled a Charlie on him or something. But
yeah, that may have been a thing.
That
may have been something.
I think that may have been a loop left on Cinch.
It's not that we really necessarily need it.
I feel pretty sure that guy's dead.
Yeah, at the end, Joker breaks Harley out. I'm pretty sure that guy died.
Surely. Or he forced him to get him in there.
Yeah.
That would be something the Joker would do.
Yeah.
Just need one favor, Charlie. Just need one favor.
Charlie. Gotta say, I was a little disappointed that Scott Eastwood wasn't Dick Grayson. Like, I heard the reports that he wasn't. I heard the reports. I knew.
I know.
But I was still hoping. I was holding out hope that, like, that mid-credit scene was... While the mid-credit scene we got was badass, yeah, I would have been a little more excited if, like... I think I would have been a little more excited if, you know, he'd just been like, Bruce, I'm in. You know, something.
Anything. Well, speaking of mid-credit scene, though, which gets me back to Bruce, which gets me back to a point you made before the spoilers point. They really were, like... I think it was Batman from the perspective of these guys.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
For us, it's always going to be Batman taking out the bad guy. But like when you see like what's the one thing he wanted to do, Deadshot. Well, he wanted to have shot Batman in that out. Same clothing, same alley, same whole thing. He just wanted to take that guy out because that is the guy that. I mean, I know it was his daughter that ultimately thwarted him here, but that's the guy who set up this. He was the catalyst of the situation that got him away from his daughter.
I guess there are two different.
And by the way, the shot of him like knocking out Harley underwater was hilarious.
Yes.
Just hilarious.
It was amazing.
Pop.
This is a lot closer to the Batman I wanted in Batman vs Superman, but I mean,
someone did say, who was it that said that this is the closest to Batman the Animated Series that you've ever seen?
Yeah, probably.
I forget who the hell it was that said that, but I think they were right.
Yeah, I loved how Batman was like, I don't want to do this in front of your daughter.
Yep.
But that took away from the promise of, you know, from the criminal's perspective, Batman being the villain, because I felt like, you know, if Deadshot is remembering Batman going, I don't want to do this in front of your daughter, I think Deadshot is reasonable enough to be like, you know what, that was pretty solid of him. Like,
well, he is, but that's saying like they weren't going to polarize any character. They weren't going to make anybody static. Like, even Batman in this movie wasn't going to come across as like almost got him. You know, it wasn't going to come across that way.
No,
like even then it was, and that's actually
I don't want to put that.
Deadshot,
I don't want to put that off on the movie and like blame the movie because the director and some of the actors made some promises that just weren't there.
I don't think they weren't. I don't think it wasn't that they weren't there necessarily.
Right.
Because you do see, like from the perspective of Harley, just out on date night with Mr. J, you know, and it gets interrupted.
Yeah.
And he bails on her ass like he always does.
That was pitch perfect. That was beautiful.
Wasn't it?
That was beautiful.
Everything about when she was mentioning codependency and stuff that she was talking about, everything about it is absolutely on point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she should not be in this relationship one damn bit, and there she is.
If there was a weak point there, and I think that weak point is always kind of there, but it's been done better in other places. I feel like they should have shown us more of like the sob stories, the reasons that
Mad love.
Yeah, they should have
love.
seen a little more mad love.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the reasons that the Joker.
Well, they gave you just the one line, like,
Yeah.
well, she thought she was fixing him, but she was falling in love with him.
Yeah, that's the quick and easy line, but I needed
That
a
was
little
mad
bit
love
more.
in one quick.
Yeah, I
wouldn't have minded that, but also I
I-
feel like that may be some of what Leto was talking about when he said some of the stuff got cut.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they didn't actually shoot something
Mm-hmm.
along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And disappointed now.
Yeah, I'd be down for seeing that. You know, that's a good point. I'll take back what I said earlier. I do want to see the Ultimate Edition. If that's in there, I do want to see it. I'll see it anyway.
Yeah. You'll watch all the deleted scenes.
But come on, Warner Brothers, you gotta pull it together. Stop making movies where we need the ultimate cut later.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I don't want this to be the issue. Well, we can't, as fans, keep arguing that point. Well, if you watch the Ultimate Edition,
No, don't do that
No.
to us. Don't do that to us.
we want to. We want to.
You know how much credibility we lost over
Yeah.
saying, oh, but Batman vs. Superman is good. There are people that have never talked to us since that.
We did. We lost people. And we will now as well.
Yeah, probably.
But, I don't know. Kick rocks. I got nothing.
Moving forward, you know? And yes, watch the Ultimate Edition. We stand by it.
Yeah. And,
Africa makes sense.
and I don't know what the issue with this movie really is completely as far as it being a confusing mess as I've seen all over the place because it's
I
not.
don't think it was a confusing mess in any capacity.
No.
Like the movie itself held together pretty tightly. I don't think there's anything I could have. Let me put it this way: as far as your average movie goes, especially your average, action, big summer movie thing,
Yeah.
man, this thing holds together a lot better
Yeah.
than your average Potter.
Absolutely. Is it weird? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it in the DC universe? Yep.
Yep.
You probably shouldn't skip it.
Proudly.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Warner Brothers just shuts it all down. Nope, they're already shooting Wonder Woman and Justice League. They're not going to shut it down.
Oh, and I realized this the other day. Okay, so England separated itself from the EU.
Right.
Apparently, the pound
infamous
is
Brexit.
Yeah. Apparently, the pound is down like 15 cents
Mhm.
from the what's the EU's currency?
Pound and the what?
The euro. All right, the euro.
Euro. There
They're
you
down from the euro. I read this in passing, guys, but it occurred to me. Holy shit! The cost of filming the Justice League just went down. We might get better graphics out of this.
Oh.
We actually might. Budget's already been made.
Speaking of the Justice League.
Yeah.
I love seeing Flash. I love seeing Flash so much. Like,
That was so nice.
what was it? I was having tea with my nana and something. I don't know.
I was just having tea with Manhattan and blah blah, and
There
then
was a
this
red
red
blur.
streak appeared.
Like, bullshit. You were robbing a bank. Nuh-uh.
We caught you in a diamond emporium or whatever it was. Like,
I
Just
enjoyed
fantastic.
Boomerang. It
and
was
I
fun.
liked hearing Courtney's stories later about like, oh yeah, probably should have known that's what they were filming.
Yeah. That was weird when they pulled me on wires.
Yeah, that was a little strange. I mean, for God's sake, though, it's a movie with a bunch of like CGI creatures, like eyeballed creatures attacking.
Yeah.
I could see him not thinking that was the Flash,
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they were doing this, they had just barely cast the damn thing. Like,
Yeah. I don't think it's imperative that we get a Suicide Squad 2. I don't care. I want to see these characters again.
I think that is in itself why we have to have the Suicide Squad 2. Because I don't know where else Joker's going to show up.
Well, one, Harley, like we already know, Margot Robbie is in talks with Warner Brothers to do like a Harley Quinn female-based thing, which
originally was thought to be maybe a Birds of Prey kind of deal.
Maybe a Birds of Prey, maybe a Gotham Sirens type of situation, but
any of that, gimme.
Yeah, and well, but they were saying like without announcing it that they were kind of probably waiting on the Suicide Squad to see what was happening with that. The good news there is that no one's got a damn bad thing to say about Harley Quinn in this thing.
Not a damn thing.
So
that's the funny part is like I don't know if anyone's gonna have anything bad to say about any particular point.
Oh, not real, not like it was. You know,
don't get me wrong. I've seen this movie 1,000 times. Like it.
Yeah.
It is just an anti-hero, like an anti-hero film, like an anti-hero squad film. Like, we've done this before. I grew up watching Dirty Dozen. I loved Dirty Dozen,
and it was appropriate that they had a trailer for the Magnificent Seven before.
It was. Just disturbingly appropriate. I mean, it's not. It's pretty basic as far like they didn't rewrite anything, but enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, it was more than perfectly serviceable.
Oh yeah.
Less than the stellar thing that you think it's going to be, or that you thought it was going to be before Rotten Tomatoes came out and ruined your day.
Yeah.
Which there's no way that movie was that bad.
It's not.
Something's wrong.
Rotten Tomatoes is a broken beast. Like, there's no way this movie was 30%.
Well, it's got like a 44 on Metacritic, which uses a different algorithm.
Oh, it bothers with an algorithm? That's cute.
Yeah, it actually bothers like the critics. Look, these scores are the way they are because most of the big critics are actively hating this movie.
Yeah, that's fine. And we've actually gone over it with previous episodes about Rotten Tomatoes, and it's absurdly flawed. Like it's not actually.
Sure.
It's not actually that everyone put out like, I loved this movie 30%, and that became their vote. It's I gave this movie a 7. Well, unless it's an 8 or above, I think it was. I forgot the particulars, but there's a high mark.
Yeah, I thought it was like 7 or 6, something like that.
7 or 6. Anyway, so somewhere around the 7 mark, just give me credit here as an average. Somewhere around the 7 mark, if the movie's not above that, it becomes a 0%. If the movie's above that, it becomes 100%.
Yeah.
Because
the binary attribution is...
That's what it is, yeah.
It's way off. It's not a fair system.
It's really not. I've done statistics a lot of ways, and that is not one of the good ones.
Yeah. So bottom line, think for yourself. Don't read the critics, or just listen to us,
or just avoid Rotten Tomatoes.
Do what we tell you to do. Don't do what they tell you to do. They'll tell you to go watch, Boyhood a third time. Watch Boyhood. It's pretty good. Watch Suicide Squad.
Everyone's going to cry back, "You don't own me." And then vaguely remember that Eminem album that was really pretty good.
Yes.
That's where I learned about that song. Thanks, Recovery.
All right, so you got anything else on this?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, worthless. If anything, I would parry the DVD sales of Batman vs Superman against the Rotten Tomatoes, rating.
Yeah. BVS has been number one for a minute.
The people bought the film. The people bought the film.
Yeah. It's made us money, man. It's made us money.
Yeah. I think they got over that billion part with the DVD sales finally.
Yeah. And everyone, is kind of jumping on the whole, you didn't have legs thing. Well, it's the summer where a Civil War and a Suicide Squad are also coming out. And
that's
people have to save their rubles.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my my counter argument, though. Well, not even counter argument. It's like part 2 of my argument. One, BVS and Suicide Squad are not that bad.
Right.
Via Rotten Tomatoes. And 2, Civil War is not that good.
No, it's not as good. Here's the other thing.
And don't just take that as a pull quote. I love that movie, but it's not 98% good.
Yeah, I liked it, but it's not 98% good.
I'm buying that shit. It's happening. That's the best Spider-Man I've ever fucking seen.
Here's the
But
problem.
it's not 98%.
And this might be why we don't have news on an Ultimate Edition to Suicide Squad, because before Batman v Superman ever came out, they had already said they were going to put out the Ultimate Edition that was more of Zack Snyder's actual vision.
Yeah.
So people with half a brain who were, practical about that shit, not putting down anybody who went to see the movie and paid the money in the theater, because I certainly did. But I want to see that shit. But
could not help myself. But you're saying there are people that probably went,
there are
screw
people
it, for
you know
$20
what?
I'm going to go ahead and get the Ultimate Edition later.
Oh, I'll just get the DVD later because
I'll pre-order that in a couple weeks.
Oh, if that's going to be
no
the real
problem.
movie, I'm not going to go pay $12 for a damn trailer, a glorified trailer, 2.5 hour.
I don't know
trailer.
what percent of people would have made that decision, but there has to be a percent.
I mean, I've talked to people like at my job who were just like, so you're saying that there's an Ultimate Edition coming out that's going to be like 3 hours long? Yeah. So I probably shouldn't go see it in the movie. I was like, I want to say yes, but probably not. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it may. I mean, I'm going to see it.
Yeah. I don't know which one will be the better version.
I've seen it. I don't know what to tell you.
I was like,
I
I'm
ran
like jumping
into-
on the whole like, hey, look, man, you don't know if it's going to be like a butterfly effect type of thing. Like they had a completely different ending on the director's cut. You don't want to, mess with that. So I'd say go to the theater, but maybe not. But yeah, I think a lot of people were doing that. So
I ran into at least one case where, like, I bought the Blu-ray, loaned it to somebody, and the one of that family was just bound and determined they were just going to watch the DVD because they didn't want to go to the living room to watch it.
No.
I couldn't convince them that. No, seriously, man. Seriously, like, I don't know what amount of comfort you have watching it from your bed that's so much worth that, but like, I'll come over and move the Blu-ray player from the living room to your bedroom for all I can. It's worth it. Yeah, I just want to see the theatrical release.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But that's kind of the point, is you guys shouldn't be putting out two different... Just put out the movie that the filmmaker... Like, WB has very ardently stated, no, we're doing this, just the filmmaker's vision. This is a David Ayer movie.
Bollocks. You
This
keep
is
firing
Zack-
directors left and
Yeah.
right. You're firing directors with the accuracy that Deadshot kills
And now
whatever these things are.
there are actual, like, a whole bunch of reports, and I haven't jumped into it yet, because we haven't done a news episode on that yet. But there are reports
See you in a couple
that
days.
There's a bunch of shit that was cut out, and they like kind of retooled it, and it was much more somber film. Apparently, those humor things were true to some degree. That they went back and shot things funnier somehow. Yeah, which a bunch of the critics are saying it's uneven. So I didn't really think it was uneven.
Wait, all right. What do you mean by uneven?
They're saying the tone is uneven. Like, it's funny when it shouldn't be. Like, they came in, you could just tell they came in and threw in jokes. Which, personally, after seeing the movie, I think they're full of shit. I think they believed... I think these are all people with bias. I think they believed those reports that were coming in about more humor shoots. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did reshoot for humor. I don't know. Because they're all liars. They're all trying... Like, everybody's a liar.
No, it's a whole system.
You
There's
can't,
no-
you
truth
can't
does not
trust,
exist. Yeah.
as much as I want to. And if you hear this, David Ayer, I'm sorry, but you're a liar.
You're a goose.
You're under contract to say shit to sell that movie, to make sure that movie comes off well.
Yeah.
We don't have that. We don't give a shit. We'll say you're a fucking liar. I don't know. I'm sorry. But we call out Mark Guggenheim every episode for this shit. Just say, yeah, they made me go back and reshoot something. I don't know. I didn't see it. I thought the movie was good for the most part.
And also, when someone says it's uneven, it's funny when it shouldn't be, and it's somber when it shouldn't be, and blah blah blah. The same kind of take you can take it and say, oh my god, the movie really broke a lot of barriers. Because like sometimes when you think it's going to be funny, it gets a little somber on you. Sometimes when it gets too deep, you got that humor.
Yeah.
It's just the other side of the coin, and depending on how you felt about the movie, just a different take.
I think a lot of different things have come into play here. I think there were a lot of the critics were expecting it, or they either wanted it or expected it to fail.
Yeah.
Because of their own expectation. There's a small possibility that Disney's just paying critics to shit on it, like they're holding their families hostage or something, or their careers.
Yeah, they're joking.
Disney's a huge corporation. Who knows? I can't say for certain.
I have many an outlet has said, and I'm quoting, "Don't fuck with the mouse."
When did Disney take over
I don't
Marvel?
remember. I really don't.
Because I was thinking, like, the last DC movie that actually got, like, a really good review was Dark Knight Rises. If it was, like, around 2012, like...
That would make a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense!
I think it was before, though.
Okay, was it?
I think the Marvel movies, as the current universe
Or were they just like,
exists,
no, don't mess with Nolan. We kind of like him. We want him to come over to do something for us someday.
And so help me, one of the trailers was like a Christopher Nolan film, and I like dropped my head and went, "Oh, fucking, what have you done now?" My wife like turned to me and said, like, looked at me, like, put her eyebrow up. I was like, "What the hell was that?" After the movie, after the trailer finished, I was like, I don't look at me. I don't know what to tell you.
I think Bethany like looked over and was like, "Well, that was awkward." Yeah. Of course, the first thing I thought was like, from the director of the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Interstellar, and I was like, these are not selling points.
Yeah.
I mean, they are for normal people.
Don't get me wrong, 70% of the Dark Knight trilogy is just phenomenal. The other 30% is so bad that I just...
A third of it's phenomenal. And a third of it's mediocre, and a third of it's garbage.
That's a fair rating, too.
Sorry, Batman Begins fans.
Sorry, between Batman Begins and Dark Knight, because the Dark Knight was so damn good, but and they're just little tiny pieces of Dark Knight Rises that are salvageable. Anyway,
Batman Begins, they don't talk like people. They have like, we must do this. Why are you saying must? That's weird.
Everyone's a fucking philosopher. As said.
Anyway,
like, there's no one in that film that does not have at least a minor in philosophy.
Which is what some people say about Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
So
and
which might be fair.
You know the crazy part? I completely agree with them on that. It's just that I liked the points they brought up in Batman v Superman.
You know what? The real thing is
stuff
like,
I've been wanting to watch happen for a long time.
Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is exactly the type of asshole who took one philosophy course and now spouts it like it's like biblical truth. You know, like this is how it has to happen, and these are all my points.
No, he read like one Kafka book, and he read like a couple of Nietzsche essays, and it changed his world.
He read like the first 2 chapters of The God Problem.
Yeah. And changed his world. He's got like 2 Dawkins books on his shelf that he's never actually cracked.
Yeah. He read the bit about the rock. Could God lift it? And he went, yes! Out the door he went to go find the rock, the kryptonite rock.
Don't be wrong. I like making fun of the guy, but I also enjoy the philosophy he espoused, so I'm torn.
Right.
I'm torn.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying all that to say I've known people like that. His character was believable. I didn't have an issue with it. I'm like, yeah, sure. Little tech kid, asshole. Yeah, probably jumped in some philosophy, got all worked up.
Yeah.
It works. But anyway, Suicide Squad, I think it's good. Go check it out. What else do we have? Do we have anything else to say about this movie?
No, we screw around enough.
If we have any more, you'll get the rest of these reviews, the review on Suicide Squad.
Shit, no one's paying us to hype this damn movie. Yeah, we went and saw it. We think you should go see it.
We think you should see it. Let us know what you thought.
For zero monies, that's what I'm willing to say.
For zero monies.
Not one rusty nickel. Not one.
We've got a couple of rusty nickels.
I have one, but no one gave it to me. Found it.
You didn't pick up... Was it Tails?
Waterside Parkway.
Tails,
I was poor, and I don't care if it's Tails.
Tails side up is bad luck. That's why you're still poor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Compounds the problem. It's like going to Tidal Max.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Go enjoy Suicide Squad, or if you didn't, let us know why you didn't. Just go see it, because you can't talk to us about it unless you see it. I mean, you can.
But what are you going to do?
I'm afraid you'll come off as woefully ignorant. You can find every episode of DC On Screen at dconscreen.com. Go check us out if you enjoyed our rambling here. We are part of the Giant Size Team Up Network. GiantSizeTeamUp.com. They were good enough to take us in.
Mm.
We'll have another news episode coming up for you on Monday.
Well, we're going to do it Monday.
Well, it'll come out Tuesday, probably. Yeah. So don't be sitting around Monday going, where is it? Because it'll
Find better things to do with your life.
Like going to see Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Now in theaters.
Matinee. $10, biatch.
Unless they announce the Ultimate Edition, then I say screw it. Wait.
Just wait. Let that movie fail.
Or don't. We need more.
I support nothing.
I support everything. Except when I don't. Until next time, guys, keep some DC on your screen. Just stop the damn thing.
Done.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
O'Reilly. It's Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries. Our professional parts people will test your old battery for free and recommend the right battery for your vehicle. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly.